What's up? In this box, right here, are all the shoes I use in my daily running, plus a couple extra. So, if you want to see what a high school runner like me wears on his feet to run 30 plus miles every week, keep watching and you'll find out. All right, let's get these bad boys unboxed. So that's right there is all of my shoes, and we're going to start with my trainers. My first pair of daily trainers are my Asics Gel Kayano 30. Alright, so these shoes are my most used daily trainer. I bought them off of eBay for $55, lightly used, with shipping, because I needed a good stability shoe for easy running. They are very enjoyable to run in, and they are my recovery, slower run shoe. I wear them anywhere from 650 to 840 pace, and I love running in them. They're very cushioned. Older shoe, definitely. When I bought them, I'd say they had 50 or 40 hard miles on them. And the shoe itself is 2 editions old, as Asics just released the 32nd Gel Kayano. But that doesn't change the fact that these shoes are awesome. They're a little bit heavy on foot, but they work incredibly well for slower runs and can even pick up the pace a little bit if you feel like it. They feel great on your feet, great on your legs, and they are an awesome recovery shoe, as are most of Asics plusher shoes. Next up are my Brooks Hyperion GTS 2s. So, Brooks Hyperion GTS. Probably the fastest stability shoe you can find, if I'm not mistaken. These are my tempo, faster paced shoes. I'm usually using them anywhere from 640 down to 540 pace, in that range. These are a lot lighter than the Asics, and a lot flatter. You get a lot more of the ground feel, which I actually really enjoyed. I hadn't had it in any other shoes before I tried these, and I really do like it. I love these shoes. I raced in Ann Arbor in them at the triathlon, and I don't know, I only have great things to say about this shoe. It has a much lighter upper and a much lower stack than a lot of other shoes, but if you're a Brooks fan, that's exactly the kind of thing you'll like. They're not super shoe edition, but they're incredible at picking up the pace, and they feel great for most paces. Colorway, I love this Brooks color that they had on this series of shoes, and I don't have anything bad to say about this. If you need a stability shoe that's faster, this is definitely the one I would recommend. Just everything about it super enjoyable, and I don't have any qualms. Besides, the only bad thing I have to say about this shoe is the tread wears off pretty quick. For mine, on the toe right there is where it's been wearing off. Other than that, absolutely incredible shoe. I'm gonna wear these tonight for my run, and I'm super excited to have them on feet whenever I put these on. Next up, we have the Streakfly 1s. Alright, so these shoes are something else. It's funny because we go from 2 pairs of stability trainers to probably the least stable shoes you can find. I bought these off of eBay for, again, I think around 50 bucks. And going in, I knew they had durability issues. I'd read up on it. It's the biggest down point of the shoe. From my perspective, I know they don't have a plate and the relatively low stack height, but I didn't really need a crazy fast super shoe at the time. So I'm like, oh, screw it, it's 50 bucks. Let's just go in on it. And honestly, they've been really awesome. They've treated me super well. They're holding up pretty dang good for my expectations, I would say. Love the colorway, the gold and the black, super cool. Very cheap, almost half off compared to like the retail. A lot less than my Brooks, same as my Asics, but the Brooks were retail. And I think they were worth every penny I spent on them. I mainly use them for shorter track workouts, occasional strides, and races, because I don't have any other great racing shoes. So like you'd see in Road to Mitka, I'd be doing 200 repeats. These are the shoes I'd have on my feet. That's what they're made for, the shorter sprinting stuff. And they're awesome at that, work really well, feel really fast, and they're holding up pretty well. So super happy with these. Probably wouldn't recommend them to everybody. They're not the best. Again, durability issues, not even the fastest shoe you can find, but for when I found them for, when I needed them, fit perfectly into my track workouts, and I very much enjoy them every day. Definitely, if you're a heel striker, think about not getting these. Most of the padding's on the front and it's wearing out on the back for me already. I've only worn them for maybe 20 miles, but they're holding up pretty well. So I will continue to use these, and I will continue to stand by the fact that they were a good purchase and the fastest trainer I have. So with that, let's get on to the spikes. I'm gonna start with a disclaimer on the spikes. As opposed to my trainers, where most of them were bought with my own money, or I had my parents buy them for me. Most of these spikes, all of these spikes were gifts. I paid 20 bucks for one pair, and then the 3 other pairs were free. One of them from my parents, 2 of them from Abe. Shout out Abe, you're the GOAT, for real. But let's get right into this. All right, so I think the way I'm gonna do this is going from least favorite to favorite. And so to start, we have my New Balance XCX. This was my cross-country spike last year. These were from Abe. He didn't like them, so I traded him with another pair. That's where I get the bag from. We had some Avanti 1s that were actually his in the first place, that he gave them to me, then I gave them back, and he gave me the New Balances. Colorway's pretty cool. They worked. They weren't anything too special. A little bit exposed carbon fiber right there. 5 pins, which is unusual for a cross-country spike. A little bit thicker padding, which you'll get on most cross-country spikes, but they're also at the same time not water resistant, so I didn't really get the point. Pretty hefty in the back and the heel compared to a lot of the spikes you'll feel. The foam, however, everything on this shoe is responsive. That was very nice. Very nice touch. One of the higher end cross-country spikes you can find. Although, if you do look, this is universally one of the least liked. And as said, I didn't hate it. It worked very well for me, but definitely not the favorite spike I've ever worn. I know Abe had a lot of stability issues with it, and that's why he didn't like it. funnily enough, me, the guy with all the stability shoes, didn't have very many issues with it. But there's nothing too special about this bike. If you can find it cheap, get it, but it would not be worth retail compared to everything else. Hate to hate on New Balances, but this was not their best piece of work. Next up, we have normal Dragonflies. Jack ones. I believe the plan is that these are going to be my XC spikes this year for most of our nicer courses, which gratefully is most of them. Any gnarlier courses, I'll probably whip out the XCXs again if they still fit. I've only worn these for strides. I've worn Dragonfly 2s once. Those were also Abe's. I don't enjoy them on the track very much compared to the other spikes you'll see, but for cross country, I'm hoping they'll be a little bit better than New Balances. I'm super excited to try them. I like this colorway a lot. They were, again, Abe's. Last year, he wore them a little bit for cross country and indoor. I traded him the Cituses you saw in my bag review video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. So traded in my Cituses for the Dragonflies. So, because I was set for a track spike, he needed a track spike. So, I need an XC spike. So the deal worked out pretty well. Like the colorway. Again, haven't ran into much, don't have much to say. Just super excited to try them, and you'll probably see these on my feet in a lot of the videos coming up. So stay tuned. Next up, not only the oldest spike I own, definitely the oldest shoe I have here are my Air Zoom Victory 1s, the Eliud Kipchoge edition. Air Zoom Victory 1s, Eliud Kipchoge edition. So how I got these is pretty funny. Going into my 8th grade track season, I desperately needed a good track spike to wear. It was a well-known problem in my friend group with the runners on the team, and I'd been looking. My parents weren't inclined to buy me a spike, so I was looking for something cheap, something I could find, but something that would also be good and help propel me to the next level of my middle school career. So one day, out of the blue, Mateo hits me up. He's like, hey, I'm at Burlington, just found some Air Zoom Victory 1s for 20 bucks. Want me to grab them for you? They're in your size. And of course I said yes. And that's how I ended up with these. They didn't come with pins or a bag, which is how I ended up with this and the Amazon pins that are in there. But for 20 bucks, these shoes were probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Mateo didn't take repayance for it, so shout out to you. You're the reason I have my record. I remember you wanted me to say that when you weren't taking payment. He was like, no, you're not gonna pay me back. It's just you gotta I'm gonna be it's just you gotta know that I'm the one, and the whole world's gotta know that I'm the one that got you your school records and stuff, and I'm the reason you're going as fast as you are. So thank you, Mateo. Anyway, how they feel. These are incredible shoes. I wore them in my 4x8 and 800 school records. I wore them everything from 200s up to 3200s, even a couple of cross-country 5Ks, which I don't recommend. Tears up your calves at anything over a mile, especially the ones. These are incredibly aggressive spikes. I would say definitely more suited for specifically the 800. They're a little bit unstable for a 400, but they work well for that. And they're a little bit aggressive for most people, I would say, for the 16. So very much an 800 specific shoe, but I love them. These are my first love as a track spike, and the Eliud Kipchoge colorway, so awesome. Having his quotes, his name to motivate me as I'm running. I thought that was really awesome. They're super beat up now, super old. Don't really wear them anymore. The occasional 400 I'll rip in these bad boys. Occasional 200 in a workout if I need to go really fast. Other than that, not really wearing them too much, sadly. But they're an important part of my collection, of my history. And the next step, the next generation of these shoes, which we'll get into right now, is the magnum opus of my collection. And I'm so excited to share with you guys my Air Zoom Victory 2s. In my humble opinion, these are the best spikes ever made. Hands down. Best spike I have ever worn in my life. I love these things so much, and I couldn't ask for anything better for what I run. As an upgrade from the first iteration that I showed you earlier, Nike made these, one, more stable, so they're better for 400s, two, slightly less aggressive, making them better for the 1600, and changed the spike pin geometry. They put some sort of protective cover on the foam, making it last longer, and yet somehow they're lighter, they feel better on your feet, and I don't think I could ask for anything better. I wore these from everything from 400s to 32s this year. It's a little bit of a stretch to take it to 32. Definitely put strain on my calves, but for the 16, they're a lot better than the ones. For the 400, they're a lot more stable than the ones. Maybe not as fast, but I love these shoes to death. Ran incredibly fast times in them, and I think I would pick this spike as, if I could pick one spike, it would be this spike 1,000 times out of 1,000. And I mean, they're aggressive compared to the Dragonflies. They keep you on your toes, and they just are so easy to rip off. Incredibly fast times in. Very expensive. These were my Christmas gift, my biggest Christmas gift from my parents. But if you can get them for even $40 off on eBay, I would say these are incredibly worth it. For 1600, 800 runners with stronger calves, this is the spike you want to be wearing. And I dare say my favorite, not just spike, but my favorite shoe I've ever had on my feet. A little bit biased, but I love the fast times. All the colorways are sick. I have the watermelon one. A couple of teammates have the spruce and white one, and the new Jakob Ingebrigtsen colorway looks super cool. So maybe next season, we'll see. Love these so much. And that's it for running shoes, but I got one more thing to show you guys. So last but not least, we have my recovery slides. Last, definitely not least, we have my Nike Rejuvenate slides, my recovery slide that I got for my birthday. Probably my second or third favorite shoe that I've shown you guys today. I love wearing these, as you can tell, because they're crazy dirty. They're so comfortable, so light on the feet. Everyone who I've tried them on loves them. Mateo even got a pair for his birthday. I like the color on these, and they're just, the React X is just incredibly soft, feels incredibly great. And that's it for today. That's the final thing. I hope you guys enjoyed my, as a running YouTuber, my mandatory shoe rotation video. Lots of shoes on here. Hopefully more to come. I'll keep you guys updated with my rotation. I don't think I'm gonna add anything new during the cross season, but post-cross season, I will definitely be needing to add new shoes. Anyway, back to these slides. Finally, good grip, super comfortable. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it helps if you ever have to make a shoe decision, having some of these shoes on your mind. And hope you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long time in the making, and honestly should have made it a long time ago. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.